They're two very experienced teams going into the final. They won't fall into the usual traps maybe of getting caught up in the build-up, losing focus. You see a lot of players when they play in the final for the first time, they start thinking of all-stars, or they start thinking about their own performance. You really have to come in as a real strong unit and just concentrate on doing the simple things well. I mean, I've always found in the biggest games you'll find that it's the team who do the simple things well and better than the opposition typically win. If you look back at All-Ireland finals over the last number of years, they tend not to be classics. They're really just a team doing the basics well normally win, and if you don't make mistakes have proved costly to teams who've lost All-Irelands in the past. Dublin must be very happy with where they're at. I mean, beating Kerry in the semi-final would have given them a huge boost, but look at them, it's very hard to find any weaknesses, and from Mayo's point of view it's a real daunting task. I suppose the way you would look at it is that maybe after beating Kerry in such a high-profile game and being such a good game as well, that maybe they'll find it hard to come down from that high and then get straight back up to reach those levels again for a final. So I think Mayo will be hoping that they can reach that top level. The form graph going to the final, you'd say that Dublin are definitely in better form, and that their form stands up, to scrutiny. Whereas Mayo, I think for the first time maybe they're under the radar going to the final, which may be no bad thing. I mean, they didn't win Connacht for the first time in 5 or 6 years. They struggled in the earlier rounds of the qualifiers, but I think the win against Tyrone, I think that was a big game for them. I think a lot of people fancy Tyrone to do well this year, and I think they won that real tight, close game. I think the management really devised a plan, and they're learning from game to game, and they've thrown something different at every opposition they've faced this year. So I think that Tyrone gave them a lot of confidence. Of course, the semi-final against Tipperary, they didn't play that well, but semi-finals are there for winning. I think they're really looking to put in a huge performance. They haven't really performed in finals before, and I think this year, I can really see them performing. Obviously, on paper, you'd say Dublin have the best players, the best squad, the best management team. They're in the best form. So on paper, you'd say Dublin are to win it. But again, finals don't work like that, and I can see this as being a real close game, a cagey affair even. I think Mayo cannot afford to go into a shootout with Dublin. I mean, Dublin kicked, I think, 22 points against Kerry in the semi-final, and if they get anywhere near that, it'd be very hard to see Mayo outscoring them. So Mayo have to play defensive. They have to be really conscious that they don't leave gaps at the back, and I think they'll want to make it a real cagey, tough, physical, tight affair, and they'll hope to really go down the last 10 minutes, and probably more so than Kerry, they'll have the athletic ability to stay with Dublin for the full game. So I think that's the way Mayo will approach it. And if they can summon one big effort in the last 10 minutes and get a rub of the green, every team needs a rub of the green to win the final. So I think that's the way Mayo will approach it. And I can see Mayo winning just about edgy at maybe 2 or 3 points.